Hey, D-Man. I think it's just me right now. It has been a crazy, messed up YouTube day. I finally got it fixed, though. So hopefully, we don't have to go through this again. Because I was not happy. I could not see my screen. My chat screen. All I could see was me. Can you hear me okay? It wasn't bad. We had a little bit of a hiccup. We had somebody come in asking me if my back was okay. And I'm pretty sure that was. Hello, carrying me through. Sorry. I have props today. Oh, and Marie says hello to everybody. So I'm saying hello. I don't know if I've covered today's topic or not. I couldn't find it, so if I did, I'm sorry. It'll be a repeat. Yeah, she came in while I was trying to fix YouTube. But I got it fixed. I can see you on my phone. Yay! I'm so excited. And she said that she's glad that I haven't dropped her. I'm like, I don't know why I would. I do want to talk about something I mentioned earlier, just because we have other people in. I am going to be switching the way I do shorts. Marie is very nice. I'm switching shorts over to how I do it on the Spooky channel. So there will be topics, and each week I will update those topics, and you'll basically get a fact, and that'll be it. Unless I really get creative and figure out how to supplement those. I think that's one of the reasons why things have dropped. Gonna give it another couple minutes for more people to come in, just in case. We were actually really active earlier. Like while I was trying to get things working again, we had quite a few people come in. I was really, really surprised. I do not have YouTube open on the Chromebook. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't want it to freak out again. We're going to try it. Okay. Today's live, we're going to be talking about how trees survive the winter. And I do have props. I have props. So how do trees survive the winter up north? Well, first off, we have two types of trees. We have deciduous and we have conifers. So mainly we're talking about conifers. But trees have bark. And that's one of the first things that's really important about trees, is that they do have bark. Think of bark as you would your own skin. Comes in many different colors, keeps it from freezing and cracking during the winter. But the second thing is that they drop their leaves. Most trees drop their leaves. Oaks and a few others have a thing where they don't drop their leaves. And it is called marvescence. Some trees bite, even with their bark. Okay, rather than say it, because I know I'm going to mess it up. Oh, I'm probably going to get called downstairs. So just be expecting it. Okay, so that word explains why oaks keep their leaves. So there is a layer, and I know I've talked about this. There's a layer of cells between the leaf and the twig that are responsible for these leaves staying on the tree. For most leaves, that layer will disintegrate and they will blow away with the wind. But these guys have an incomplete separation that still keeps them very much on the stem. And so if you live up north or any place where you have oaks, that's why they stay on the tree. Okay. Now we have that done. Yes, beech does it too. So why do they do that? Why go through the whole drop your leaves things? Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. That helps them to not lose water. If these were still green leaves during the winter, the plants would lose a lot of water. and that's not a good thing. So they drop their leaves or they die. The leaves give off moisture, and it's a process called transpiration, which is the process by which water is evaporated from the leaves. Now, on a conifer, they do drop some of their needles, the old needles. Their needles, though, are much better at retaining water. They have a small surface area, and there is a waxy coating on the needles that keeps them from dehydrating, or not dehydrating, but losing that water. But what triggers this to happen? Shorter days and cooler nights, or cooler and shorter days. And this is part of the process of the trees going into a dormant state. Chlorophyll, the needles fall because they're old. They only live so long on the tree, and when they get old, they drop. But a tree that is sick, they may drop their needles, all of their needles, but most pine trees drop them because the needles get old and they're not functioning as well or whatever, so the tree lets them fall. They will still have needles. Now, there are some deciduous conifers that do drop their leaves. Lurch, tamarack, and maybe cypress. So anyway, what happens is these guys get ready to drop their leaves. So before they do that, the leaves are green. But they will stop producing chlorophyll. And when they stop producing that chlorophyll, that's when these guys broadcast those famous fall colors. Another thing that's going to happen is all of that sap that is up in the tree right. So the trees basically go into a dormant phase. They're not dead. They're just dormant. Not much going on. So they will also send all of that sap down into the roots, because the roots being further down in the ground, they're a little bit more protected than if it was up in the branches and the trees. That would not be good. I don't know if you've ever had a glass in your freezer. If it freezes in that glass, it'll shatter. So the tree doesn't want that to happen. Another thing that's happening is the cells within the tree, they go through even more changes. Their cells, or the areas between the cells, there's actually sort of an antifreeze going on within the pine trees. It's that pine smell that we love so much. That's actually the antifreeze that's inside the pine tree. But trees themselves, they go through a major change in their cells that includes shrinking, dehydrating, and concentrating their sugars. And by doing this, they are actually preventing damage to their cells. Now, while all of that is going on, there's something else going on. I don't know if you can see that, but this is off of a burning bush tree or bush that popped up in our backyard. And since it is an invasive, I didn't feel bad cutting this off. These little spikes are next year's new growth. So in the spring, these would open up, giving way to new twigs, new leaves. Well, you get the idea. So they're already producing new growth. Now, inside these buds, that new growth is sort of protected. At the same time, come heavy snows, and if you live up north, like I do, we have big snowstorms that will get on branches, and the snow can make them bend, and they will bend somewhat. But there's also a point where they don't bend as much. But oak trees and some maple trees and other really big trees, they can hold that weight. But if they kept their leaves, it would add more weight to the tree. And so that's why we have some issues. I will be right back. I'm going to go down and see if I can help my parents real quick. I don't want them carrying everything in. Make sure they're okay. Be right back. Sorry, but I wasn't about to have my mom. I just wanted to make sure that mom didn't have to carry everything in. What did I miss? Yeah, it's supposed to. Oh, I didn't know about tonight. I thought it was Saturday and Sunday. Then they've moved it up. Guess that's a good thing George lives close by. It was supposed to be, it's supposed to be a very cold and wet. It's supposed to be a cold and wet winter for us. So, yup. That's going to be a thing, I think. Guys, thank you for coming in. I didn't think I'd end up with anybody. It could be. D-Man, you could be up here. Getting ready to get nailed by Mother Nature. I'm hoping I keep it. Well, I don't want it, but we'll see what happens. I got scared. I had to basically I had to dump my YouTube off of my phone. And then put it back on. And when I first put it on, I couldn't access my other accounts. But now I can access them. So all is good, I think. I saw. I'm not happy about it, but there's nothing I can do about it. So that's the thing. I'm not going to stress about it. Well, the problem, D-Man, is that if it's a wet snow, it's harder to shovel because it's heavier. 3 inches is nothing, but any more than that, like if it's 4 to 5 inches, you probably need to shovel. Because the snow plows go by, we end up with like 3 to 4 feet of extra snow that we didn't have before. So, yay. Yeah, lake effect is heavier and wetter, tends to be. And that's always joyful. That's what happened with our last snowstorm. It was lake effect. So you gotta shovel the deck, shovel the steps, and then shovel your way out to the street. And then once you're to the street, you have to shovel out your mailbox because the mailman won't come if he can't reach it. And it's a two-man job. Oh yeah. Yeah, we have days where it's below freezing. I didn't think so. We are supposed to get snow, though. Saturday and Sunday. We typically have 13 days where it's below 0. Where it's below 5 degrees. But yeah, depending upon the year, it'll drop below. There's been times when, because of the wind chill, we have not had school. Where it's dropped, if it drops below, I think it's minus 10 degrees wind chill, they'll cancel school. We are supposed to get uncertain accumulation. At this point, multiple inches. We could get anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of snow between Friday and Sunday. So depending upon what model you look at, around 4 a.m. in the Chicago area, and it doesn't clear out until late Sunday morning. Yeah, today, I don't even know today's temp. Our low was 28 degrees. And our high was 37. Tomorrow through, how is that possible? Tomorrow it's supposed to be a low of 32. No, I'm sorry. Tomorrow it's no. Today it was 53 and a high of 30 and a low of 37. Tomorrow 37 for a high and a low of 28. Thursday a high of 33 and a low of 25. Friday 32 for a high and a low of 25. Well, we had rain today. And then Friday, no. Yeah, we had rain this morning. Wednesday, we're supposed to have rain and maybe some snow. Thursday and Friday are dry. Then Saturday and Sunday, we have snow. And then Monday or Sunday is supposed to be a high of 32 and a low of 17. And then Monday and Tuesday, a 23 on a high as a high for Monday, and 10 degrees. Then 10 degrees on for a low, 19 for Tuesday for a high, and 11 degrees on Tuesday for a low. Yep. But we live in Northwest Indiana, and if you wait 5 minutes, the weather prediction changes. So that's what they're saying now. It could change on Friday. The worst thing about winter is the mice. This is when the mice come in. And I already know I have to set traps, which I hate doing. I'd rather them stay outside, but I get it. I get it. No, 1 to 3 inches is nothing. We can deal with that. They can sometimes. What I try and do, and I don't know if it does any good, is we have these videos on YouTube that put out high frequency. I have today for Tuesday 53 degrees and a low of 37, according to Google Weather. So I don't know. It just depends. I mean, you get a breeze off the lake during the winter. Yeah. There have been times when having that coat on and going out to get the mail, I don't see any snow on it. Late Friday, possibly into Saturday and Sunday. I just got the music. Oh, that's always nice. Oh. Oh. This is sort of cool. There is a Indiana Reptile Breeders Expo. Um, they used to allow alligators to be sold, but there was a incident in a city not close by us involving an abandoned alligator at a apartment complex. So they have decided, effective immediately, alligators will no longer be permitted for sale or trade at the Indiana Reptile Expo. Legality alone is not the standard we are willing to operate by. If you have previously purchased an alligator from our show and can no longer provide care, please do not release it or abandon it. Contact multiple sanctuaries and licensed facilities. I think that's very cool. Absolutely wild animals. Hi. Yeah, I am not okay with Tom, Dick, and Harry having alligators. I'm sorry. I just don't agree with it. So, oh, nice. It has been a long time, dude. Where you been? Maybe I shouldn't call you dude. Maybe that's not cool. Somebody's griping that just admit it. You guys want to push until you have nothing but the Python crowd at your shows. Oh, okay. Is everybody that lives in the United States ready for Thanksgiving? Aw. The San Diego Zoo announced that their oldest Galapagos tortoise died at 141 years old. She loved romaine lettuce and cactus fruit. Yeah, 141 is decent. I mean, I think it's decent. My nephew, one of my great nephews, got to have breakfast with a cop at McDonald's and got to ride to school in a sheriff's car. How cool is that? That is so cool. I never got that, let me tell you. Guys. Cool. Not another one. What the heck? Another nonverbal kid went missing from his home Monday afternoon. I don't know where he's located. Um so anyway, we got good news today. I'm not going to get into it because it's not mine to share. Don't the crocodiles, don't the alligators do something? Don't they come to the top of the water? Something like that? No, but it's still good news and I'm excited. Oh, that too. I forgot about the alligators falling or the iguanas falling from the trees. Every time. Every time. I would get, yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Lake Erie is going through a big event. They expect the water to drop 6 feet. I believe they hibernate. Sort of. But D-Man can probably tell you more about that than I can. I the the crocodiles are further south. I don't know what they do when it gets cold. They're expecting some waves to reach 20 feet in the central and eastern half of the lake. The lake level before the waves is forecasted to be more than 11 feet higher along the shore of Buffalo, New York, compared to Toledo, Ohio. Crazy. Oh, that missing 15-year-old kid is from Georgia. Let's see. Yeah, I they they enter a state of dormancy or brumation. They may retreat to burrows or underwater dens. Let's see what this says. They go dormant below 55 degrees. At least the crocs do. What? Crocs stop feeding when the temperatures drop below 70 degrees, according to Fish and Wildlife. Okay, well, I get that, but what do the Crocs do? Doesn't really say what the crocodiles do. So I don't know. I know sometimes the alligators will keep their snouts above the surface. They're able to survive that way. But I'm not getting. Yeah, it doesn't say. I don't know. So, National Weather Service has said that this is the first year since 2015 that we have not had a landfall of a hurricane. In the United States. So that's cool. I think so. I think it ends in November. Yeah, it's not over yet. It goes from Sunday, June 1st to Sunday, November 30th. Yep. Hopefully there's no more out there. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off because I got work to do. So I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Be good, everybody. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.